Good afternoon, Mr. President. Well, we thank you for the opportunity to give in to us to ask you a few questions.
Yes.
And the first question is from Gabon 24. Mr. President, the first question is, as I say, from Gabon 24. Well, your visit to Gabon is a testament of a strong bilateral relationship between the two countries, Gabon and Rwanda. So what was the main focus of your discussion with the President, His Excellency Ali Bongo Ondimba?
First of all, I'm happy to find time to be here in Gabon and indeed continue on the path of strengthening our bilateral relations between Rwanda and Gabon. Same time, it gives me an opportunity to visit with my friend, colleague, President Bongo, who has not been feeling well for some time, and I'm glad that there is a very significant improvement in his health and therefore resumption of his responsibilities effectively. So we combined those two things. It was just in an African way. We visited with friends when when it is good times. We also visit with friends when it is not so good times. So I'm here for both, really, to visit with the President, to also visit with the country and continue building a very strong relationship.
Gabon and Rwanda are among the 44 countries out of 55 of the African Union to sign the agreement on the African Continental Free Trade Area. And so the question is, what is being done to make sure the other countries join or follow suit?
Right. One thing I should have mentioned is also how central Gabon has been to African interests and vision and strategy to achieve that vision. President Bongo has been very active in working with other leaders on our continent to make sure that we raise our level of development and effort to achieve that by Africans themselves. And one of those things we needed to pay attention to is, well, trade and investment, regional integration, and continental free trade area that is going to be created under this agreement is part of that. It combines a number of things. It combines integration, it combines scale in terms of the market within which to make investments, but also to trade with each other, which are very beneficial to the continent. We have seen very significant progress since the inception of the Continental Free Trade Area. So already the countries that were required to ratify in order for the Continental Free Trade Agreement to take effect, the countries have already reached the number that was required, and we continue to see more interest, because even the others who have not ratified, it's not because they are not interested, or it's not because they don't see the necessity of having this continental free trade area. It's just because they maybe have some difficulties that they want to overcome before they fully participate, whether they are legal, technical, or otherwise. Otherwise, that's what is going on. So it means a lot. And for Gabon, that have been very present in ensuring that this happens, working with other countries like my own, Rwanda, and several other countries on our continent. We want this to work, and we see it coming into effect quickly, and therefore giving us the benefits we want.
Good afternoon, Mr. President. Camille Malplat from Agence France Presse. The African continent is each day more confronted to security threats. Which role can Rwanda play to fight terror on the continent, and how your country help his neighbors in Central Africa?
Good. Well, that's a very good question. We see a lot of progress across Africa in many ways, including actually countries that are stable and continuing to develop. But at the same time, you are right, we also see trouble spots in many parts of our continent. Some situations getting better, others getting worse, or maybe new dynamics coming in relating to these threats of instability and security, whether it is terrorism and so on and so forth. For Rwanda's role, to begin with, we participate, and we are of the view, we participate in and of the view that Africa must work together, we must cooperate. There is no other way we are going to deal with these problems effectively until we work together, because some of the problems cross borders. They are not confined to one area. One country is affected, and then the other countries start being affected. So working together is very important. We insist on that, and we encourage and subscribe to regional integration and continental integration. Second, Rwanda participates in peacekeeping missions, which are, I would say, once there is a need for peace support operations, this is because there is a problem. On one hand, I'm not saying I'm happy that there is this situation that requires that we have peace support operations, but I'm happy that we can participate in these missions so that we contribute, we make our own contribution towards peace and stability that the continent requires. So that's another contribution by Rwanda. And thirdly, we raise our voice whenever that is necessary with the rest of the world that one, much as we have problems, sometimes from outside of the continent, if they are not careful about how they help, they end up complicating the problems even further. So the best way is to work with African institutions like the African Union and other institutions, and work with regional countries where the problems are, and then support their ideas, their initiatives as to how to deal with the matter, rather than circumventing that. And then the outside countries, because they have means, because they have these capacities to come directly wanting to deal with these matters, it never ends well. So we want to work together in partnership across Africa, but between Africa and other partners. And Rwanda has been very central to that as well, and emphasizing that the case should be. Thank you.